Hey guys, it's Mr. Johns, and welcome to this review and build of the Parisian restaurant. It's a Lego kit that has been cloned by a company called King Bricks, which, if you don't know the history, in China there are multiple companies that clone Lego. Questionable ethics, for sure, because they are identical buildings. Lepin has been sued and sued and sued, and the companies just kind of keep one step ahead of Lego, which is pretty amazing. So it's a whole story in itself. But the latest thing is that Lepin has become several companies and several other companies. They've changed their name recently to King, known as King Bricks. So this particular kit I found online by King Bricks and decided to buy it and build it. So the thing is, the original Lego kit came out in 2014, and there's the box and the build from Lego. It's obviously in the expert creator category, which is the series that I build, in addition to the Speed Champions cars. But the buildings I enjoy are these creator expert kits, thousands of pieces, and great challenge. So kind of like a 3D puzzle for me that I can keep forever. So, which is great. The kit's been retired, obviously, since this has been a while, and originally it cost about $250 to $280 to purchase, which is very expensive. There are 2,469 pieces and 5 figures in the kit. So this is the original box from Lego. I found it at bigbrickstore.com, which has been one of my favorite sources recently. The prices are fantastic, and so this particular kit is $105, and so much less than half of the price of the Lego kit. As you can see, it says here previously known as Lepin kit number 15010. So they changed the kit number and the company number. I'm not sure how they stay ahead of Lego that way, but it's pretty much the same pieces. This is what it looks like when I get it, so not quite as fancy as the Lego box here, but they saved quite a bit of money by not having the fancy box. When it was Lepin, you wouldn't even get a picture on the front of the instruction booklet. But one improvement that has been made with King Bricks is that they seem to have full color pictures on the front and back, like a Lego booklet, which is kind of nice. So when you open up the box, this is what you get: a whole bunch of baggies. Luckily, they are numbered. In this case, 1, 2, 3, or 4 will show up on the bags, and those coincide with the steps in the booklet. So it's pretty easy. The first thing you want to do is separate the bags by number. And here is the booklet with I don't know why it says Lion King on the booklet. Maybe that's yet another company name. But I ordered it from who knows, you know. So it's hard to keep up. In this case, I'm just getting ready to start busting out the build. And you start with the big plate and follow the directions in the booklet. Pretty self-explanatory, but such a fun thing to do. It's a great hobby. Another thing I like to do is, as you can see up here on the table, I start to divide each baggie into colors, and so it's a lot faster if I have all the dark browns, all the dark grays, the light grays, the yellows, the whites, etc. Separated, so it's quicker to find the pieces. So in this case, this is a Parisian restaurant. Okay, so it's French food. As you can see here, you wouldn't really know this unless you built it yourself, that on the patio underneath the tables it says Chez, and that's the name of the restaurant is Chez Albert, which is the House of Albert. So Chez. And I think that's kind of a neat touch to have Chez on the patio. And one of the fun things about building these kits is that even though you kind of know what it's going to look like when you're done, you don't really know what the floor plan is. I don't study the floor plans and the pictures beforehand, and so it's kind of a surprise as I build. And so I really didn't know. I knew it was a French restaurant, but I didn't know didn't pay much attention to what's what, what's where. And so as I build and I'm putting these pieces down, I don't know if these little areas will become a kitchen or a dining room or what, or maybe that's not even the restaurant. Maybe the restaurant's up on the second floor. So that's part of the fun for me, is discovering that as I go. And so here I am laying more pieces down, and again, not really sure what's what at this point, but it starts to develop as I keep going. Out front, here's some details. At this point, I have built the kitchen, and then there's some chairs inside the restaurant, and then this is the patio section. And I zoomed in here just to show. I love these little chain links in kind of that separates the sidewalk from the outdoor eating area on the patio, with some flowers in pots and some greenery in the planters there, which is kind of cool. And so here's an aerial shot. You know, you can no longer really see the word Chez, and that's why I thought it was important to show that picture previously, because it kind of disappears. So now we have a croissant on the table. No people yet, but and I'm missing a couple flowers. The flowers kept falling off. And so I did use a drop of super glue for each of the flowers eventually, so they would not fall off. Here's kind of a good view of the windows have gone up. There are some diners who've arrived. You can't see the chef, just barely you can see the chef in the kitchen. A couple of the details that I really like in the kitchen, and there'll be a better picture here in a second, but the dishes that are stacked up. There's a rolling pin on the wall and a knife rack. And then below the clock, you've got a pie and some cupcakes that have just come out of the oven. And then also a nice kind of display area where the bottles of wine can be selected from. And I just noticed in this picture, I didn't plan this, but I just noticed there's a there's a head. There's a head in the window. So apparently there's a mystery, a murder mystery. That's awesome. I didn't plan that at all. Just pieces, parts, but dun dun dun. It's great. So here's a zoomed in picture of the waiter coming out with a bottle of wine, and the person there sitting at the table with the glass in hand, ready for a refill. Big turkey on the top of the stove there, and the chef is getting ready to slice it up and make a dish. So here's a better view of the kitchen. The chef has stepped out for a moment, but there's also a refrigerator with some cheeses and a gallon of milk, a half gallon of milk or something in the refrigerator. So kind of cool. In the beginnings here on the right, you can see the beginnings of a stairway, and this will eventually lead up to the second floor. So facing the other direction, looking out, there's some nice dark blue curtains with some lanterns for the diners near the front door. So another view of the sidewalk and the seating area with the glass front door and windows. Some of the white molding going in around the windows. So, and then when you're getting ready to do another floor, it will start like this. Plates of gray, usually with some 2x8 or 2x10 pieces to hold it all together. You flip it over, and then you start adding the walls. And I love the kind of the olive green, kind of fits for a Parisian restaurant. So I was glad to see that this color was going to be the choice here. And we have the beginnings of a fireplace on the far right. These are actually not in order exactly. I like this fireplace on the far right going in. And as you can see, the other walls are going up a little higher. So you know that's going to be a fireplace. Not really sure what the other walls are going to include. But as it developed, it became kind of a sitting room, like a little studio apartment above probably where the owners live. So you have a little kitchenette on the left here with a stove and oven. And then you have a fold down bed, which is kind of neat. It actually folds up into the wall and folds down. And then you have the recliner in front of the fireplace. So there's the bed up. Let me go back. There's the bed down. There's the bed up. So kind of cool. Such a small, typical French apartment. And they need to save as much room as possible so the bed folds up out of the way during the day. So here it is again from a different view, so you can see the kitchenette area. You've got a microwave and the oven on that far wall opposite the fireplace. So, and windows are going in, and then flower boxes outside the windows, and then the doorway looks like it's leading to nothing at this point, but it will eventually lead to this to a balcony or stairs. I'm not really sure which. So I like the detail of the little plus signs here. Those are just kind of a cross axle that are used for wheels a lot of times, and in this case used for a decorative piece. The detail of the outside of the fireplace, really cool how they do this. So the some of it's like brick that has peeled through the stucco, kind of an old look, and then the little 3D pieces that pop out. So stairway going up from the apartment to the third floor. Okay, third floor includes an artist studio and a fireplace. So it's a place for the artist to do his work. You can see we've got a palette here with some paint. Here's a piece of art on an easel, and here's the paintbrush over on the side. And then there's a finished piece of, there's a painting, looks like it slid a little bit. It's supposed to be over here, but there's a finished painting over here to be displayed. And then fireplace, which actually the door opens and closes, so it's kind of like a wood stove, which is pretty neat detail. So front door with an outside light. So kind of zoomed in so you can see the artwork a little bit better. And then here's the angle of with the fireplace, and there's the little orange translucent clear fire piece that just sticks in place, which when you have some light shining against it, gives it a little bit of realistic fire look to it. And then these windows open and close over that studio area. So here's the other side of the art studio with some real decorative pieces. These are actually clamshells that snap together and then formed the detail work. And then what's kind of cool here is they use these a lot with Lego kits. This is the croissant that you saw on the table down there, but the brown one was the actual croissant you could eat. These white ones I've read are kind of rare, that they haven't been used very often in Lego kits. But that's a same print, same 3D print. That's a white croissant, and it's used 4 times here just for detail work. So another view of that, another angle. And here's the finished restaurant, the Chez Albert restaurant, and a couple of my cars sitting next to it. You'll see there's a scooter, and one person showed up to eat that croissant, and then the patio that goes around back for outdoor eating, which is kind of cool. So here's a close-up of the restaurant. You've got some ivy growing all over the trellis, I guess it is, with these 3 lights here. And of course I have to add lighting to the kit. So the kit that I purchased from Light Telling was I think $32 or $33, which is one of the more reasonable light kits that I've bought. I thought I might try it just with some leftover lights that I had, but these are so specific to the kits, it's worth the money to do it, because there's 3 lamps here, and it comes with exactly the number that you need. So I've got lighting on the inside of the restaurant. I've got, oh, this guy needs arms. I haven't finished him yet. Hands. And lighting in the apartment. And then I had there was 2 lights left over, and I wasn't sure where they went, so I put them up here in the art studio, but then realized that those are these lamps that go back here on the outdoor eating area. So it's kind of interesting that the restaurant has the option to go up here behind the apartment to eat. I assume that's outdoor eating, or maybe it's just the patio for the apartment. It's not really clear. I guess it could be either way, but there are two nice lights that light up the back area, and I think it's kind of cool. So it was a great build. Enjoyed every bit of it. The funny thing was, at first it was probably the least excited that I've been about a creator expert kit. I just didn't think it looked like there was very much detail. It was a little bit smaller. Turns out with the 2,600 pieces and all the little details, it was actually one of the more fun builds that I've done. So if you get a chance to pick it up, I highly recommend it, and it's a great addition to my Lego City. I am so anxious to build another one. So hope that was entertaining for you to see what I've been working on. Mr. Johns, we'll talk to you later. I'm out.